Well, good evening and welcome. Chills and Fever, part 2. Thanks a lot, Sean. Absolutely cracking set. Very strange going second, I've got to say. Nervous? Yes, great set. Okay, let's be having you out there. Well, good evening, Mick Jackson. Tim Richardson, loving your artwork. Good evening, Liverpool, and Stan and May Evans. Good evening, Mincer. Mr. Sean Chapman and his lovely Mincer. Michelle. Good evening, Adrian, SCFC1 Clean. Melvin Clapton, hope you're feeling better tonight. Good evening, Clark Beadle. Good evening, Neil Anderson. Good evening, Smudge. Well, we got a great night lined up for you tonight. Mark Stackhouse, good evening. Watford Chris, Trevor Britnell, Vicky Richardson, Adi and Claire, Motown Dave, Mark Bawley, Andy Dixon, Mark and Christine Smith, oh, what a tune. 1970, Johnny Harris, Stepping Stones. Great bit of funky jazz. Well, good evening, Richard Blair, Joanna, Baz Rogers, Lee Greenway, up in Hull, Lisa and Stephen, Martin McFarl, Dwayne Carruthers, Brendan Carr, and Dave Porter. Good evening and welcome to the centre of the universe. Kicking off into Detroit, bit of Marvin.
Honey, you do me wrong, but still I But how can love go plain? Ain't that peculiar? A peculiarity. Ain't that peculiar, baby? Peculiar as can be. Oh, you tell me life should be obvious to me. But I'm so much in love with you, baby, till I don't want to see. That the things you do and say are designed to make me blue. It's a doggone shame my love for you makes all your lies seem true. If the truth makes love.
Well, good evening, South Wales and Mark and Shan. Barry Thurgood, up in Leeds, Mike Eastwood, and down in Gloucester, Chris Davis. Up into the Cotswolds, Smithy Stevens, sunny Hertfordshire, Cyril and Sue, Derek Higham, Mark Bale. Good evening, you all. Welcome to the centre of the universe.
A child can cry so much until you do everything they say. But unlike a child, my tears don't help me to get my way. I know love can last for years, but how can love last?
Well, there we go, Marvin Gaye. Ain't that peculiar? Ain't that peculiar? We coming on at 9 o'clock tonight. Very strange following Sean. Great set, Sean. Loved every minute of it. Loved the Billy Stewart bit. Okay, we love playing these different versions, and it's really refreshing not to have to just play what's going on and around out there. Play something a little bit different, as Sean said earlier on. Here we go, we're over to Australia now.
The moon don't come out much anymore. Sun don't shine much anymore. You are like the moon and the sun. I think your love for me is over and done. Oh, I know done well. Don't you think that I can tell you don't love me anymore? You don't love me anymore. Birds don't sing much anymore. Bells don't ring much anymore. But you are like the birds and the bells. I think your love for me has slipped and fell. But you don't love me. No, you don't want me. Darling, you don't need me. Oh, I can tell in your feet. Moments like these, you're acting strange, so strange. And I don't know what has come over you. You don't treat me like you used to do. You don't love me, baby. You don't want me. No, you don't need me. Don't love me anymore. Don't love me anymore.
Well, there we go, Cheryl Gray there, 1967, on Australian, his master's voice. Just love a different version, that's pretty good. Well, good evening to Martin McFarlane, Tracy Cook, Andy Dixon, and Kirsten Ayler. Well, a massive good evening to Gillian Stewart, Kaz and Richie, Lee Greenaway, Richard Graham, Sonia Fisher, and up in Hull, Cole and Kath. A Northern Soul, Kathy Stern. Well, good evening, Hartford. You can probably hear us without having Mixcloud on. Kevin Raymond and Carolyn Thompson. And also, in that neck of the woods, Sue and Rod Peg. Good evening and welcome. Miss you guys. Good evening, Tim17 and John Owen Parry. Well, absolute corker there, Dave Baby Cortez, and getting to the point.
Been breaking rocks on the chain gang, breaking rocks and serving my time. Been breaking rocks on the chain gang because I've been convicted of crime. Hold it steady right there while I hit it. I reckon that ought to get it. Been working, I've been working, and I still got a long way to go. I committed crime, Lord of needing, crime of being hungry and poor. Left the grocery store, man a bleeding, cause he caught me robbing his store. Hold it steady right there while I hit it. Yeah, I reckon that ought to get it. Been working, I've been working, and I still got a long way to go. Lord, Lord. I've been working, and I still got a long way to go. Well, I heard the judge say 5 years of labor to the chain gang, boy, you're gonna go. When the judge
well, good evening, Lorraine Perkins, Billy McCallum, Harry Gardam, Ian Locke, and Carl Hasso.
I reckon that's all to get it. Been working, I've been working.
Welcome to the chain gang.
Long way to go. Oh, I wanna see my sweet honey baby. I wanna take these chains off and run. I wanna lay down somewhere where it's shady. Lord knows it's hot in this gun. Hold it steady right there while I hit it. I reckon that ought to get. I've been working, and I still got a long way to go. Oh,
yeah, Tommy Hunt now.
it's so hot.
Yeah, not Mike Hunt.
Take these chains off.
Tommy Hunt.
Oh, just a run.
1962 on Scepter Records. Well, we like playing things a little bit different here all the time. I played one Wanda Jackson record weeks and weeks ago. Here we go with Whirlpool. I think this is in a featured advert at the moment. I can't tell you because we're not an advertising station. Whirlpool.
You got me spinning round and round, loving good and loving true, in a whirlpool, the water's deep and dark around, as I go falling down and down, I reach out and what I touch, your loving hands I need so much. Whirl, whirl, whirlpool. It's like a whirlpool. Crazy, crazy over you. In a whirlpool, I'm loving you. Whirlpool. Crazy, crazy over you.
Well, there we go, 1962 there. Wanda Jackson and Whirlpool, great sounding tune. Well, here we go, a Liverpool band that made it in Germany. Ian and the Zodiacs.
Get on your pony and ride while you're looking good, yeah, yeah. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and ride while you're riding high. Now step aside, honey, you just step aside. We're gonna ride way out west to where the grass is green. California, yeah, you know what I mean. New York City and Detroit too. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride while you're looking good, yeah, yeah. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride while you're riding high. Now step aside, honey, you just step aside. Got your pistol, yeah. Now get ready. Now shoot, shoot, shoot. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride while you're looking good, yeah, yeah. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride while you're riding high. Now step aside, honey, you just step aside. We're gonna ride to St. Louis where the girls are pretty. Atlanta, GA, what a swinging city. Right out on Lake Chicago, that's for sure. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride while you're looking good, yeah, yeah. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride while you're riding high. Now step aside, honey, you just step aside. You got your pistol, yeah. Now get ready. Well, now shoot, shoot, shoot. Ride your pony, get on your pony and ride. Oh, you're looking good, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Ian and the Zodiacs there. Played in the same club as the Beatles back in the 60s. Out in Germany, in Hamburg.
Shoot, shoot. Ride your pony.
Never really made it in the UK, but were absolutely monstrous out in Germany, and I'm going to be playing a few more tunes over the next few shows by them. Well, good evening, Mark Stackhouse, Robert Thompson, John Scally, Stein Spencer, David Maggie up in Hull, Tim in 17 and Steve Chamberlain. Good evening, Heather Jeanette, Kathy Stern, Fred and Denise Holbert from our very own village. Just open your windows and you'll be able to hear us. Good evening, Adi Langston up in the Midlands. Christian Marr. John Patterson, hope you're well, fella. Mark Aldridge. And John Galley. Good evening, Manchester, and Mike Warburton. Hope you're well, fella. And Scott McLeod. Well, there we go. Wonder Cave Frog there. Absolutely fantastic band. Now, I had this as a featured artist the other week, and I didn't play it, but I want to play it tonight to show you this is the Creation, how influential they were on modern day bands, especially someone like Oasis. Killer record. Well, playing guitars with electric, with violin bows. 1967. 30 years ahead of their time, I think. And that was what the 50s and the 60s were all about. It was evolution, a rapid rate of knots. Whether it's in music, fashion, or whatever it was, space flight, you name it, it was there. Well, we're going to smooth it down a little bit. Joe Simon.
I see your face, and I will follow you any place. There is no love as true as mine. So won't you stop? Whoa, 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 my heart will cry. Pretty, pretty baby, we'll be together always and always. Pretty baby, you know I love you, and I'll only love you the rest of my days. Everywhere I go, I see your face, and I will follow you any place.
Good evening, Perry Garden. Troy Tempest. Dave Hughes. Alistair Curry. And Anon 114 GBR. wonderful record.
And I will follow
Joe Simon now. 1961. Love the Flute. Harold said it's a good year.
see your face.
Is he talking about tyres? Oh, only joking, only joking. Here we go. A little bit more soul.
If love came your way, you know what to do or say. If love came to you, would you know what to say or do? If a fella came by that I could adore, would I say he's the guy I'm looking for? Would I say, love, hello? Would I take his hand and say I love you so? Would I be a fool and let him go? Would I say, love, go away? Would I sit by looking in his eyes, my true love in disguise? If love came your way, would you know what to do or say? If love came to you, would you know what to say or do? If the opportunity ever came to me, I'm sure I could, I know I could. If a love came my way, I know, yes I know, I know, I know, I know. If love, yeah, yeah, came your way, you would know what to do. I know.
Well, there we go, the Exciters now. I'm always worried about playing soul when I'm up against the big mighty Mr. Chapman.
Why don't you come on, baby, try?
There's not a lot he doesn't know. There's a lot that he hasn't got. But I think that's a great little B-side and quite a nice little tune. But anyway, we're up for our featured artist now. Carol's behind the game, rolling a cigarette. Okay, anyway, our featured artist this week is young Jesse. He was born Obadiah Donald Jesse on the 28th of December 1936 in Dallas, Texas, USA. He was born right in the middle of it with family members all in bands. At school, his classmates were Johnny Watson and Richard Berry. And after school, he would be with Etta James, just like you do. It was like we already knew we were going to be entertainers, he said. In the early 50s, he formed various groups with Richard Berry of Louie Louie and Have Love Will Travel fame. They recorded for Hollywood label and released I Smell a Rat, a tune that Big Mama Thornton had also released and was written by Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller. This famous writing duo admired young Jesse, as he was now known, and would write many songs for him. Some of the songs they wrote for Elvis Presley and asked young Jesse to sing on them as a demo so Elvis could hear how they intended the song to sound. A huge influence on young Jesse was Roy Brown, who, as a schoolboy, young Jesse crept into a ballroom 3 hours before the gig and hid, and then listened to the whole gig. This is what he wanted to be, he said. I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. He wore a white tuxedo, white shoes, the sharpest man he'd ever seen in his life. All the women were going crazy. He tore the place up. I want to play the blues. And this was the day he was born. Well, over to our first tune.
You know the lion is the king of the jungle. The eagle rules the skies above. The shark is the boss of the ocean. But let me tell you who's the master of love. They call him Big Teeth from that Arkansas. He's got a lips tasting cool like a dove. He's got a kiss up my Teefy hug 'em, Big Teefy kiss 'em, Big Teef cool as a dove. Well, Big Teefy hug 'em, Big Teefy kiss 'em. Sweet talking squaw talk, putting down comment talk. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, he's Big Teef of a man of kiss. When the moon is high up above, he's a big creeper in a wigwam sneaker. He is the king of love. Big Teefy hug 'em, Big Teefy kiss 'em, Big Teef cool as a dove. Well, Big Teefy hug 'em, Big Teefy kiss 'em. He's talking squaw talk, putting down coming talk. Big Teefy hug 'em, Big Teefy kiss 'em, Big Teef cool as a dove. Big Teefy hug 'em, Big Teefy kiss 'em. He's talking squaw talk, putting down coming talk.
Well, there we go, 1962, Young Jesse there. Well, Young Jesse recorded numerous tunes throughout the 50s and 60s, notably Mary Lou, Hoochie Coochie, Hit Get and Split, Brown Eyes, and Shuffle in the Gravel. He spent a brief spell with the Coasters as a tenor in 1957, but always wanted to be a solo artist. He performed throughout his life, turning to jazz later on, but sadly passed away in 2020 at a grand old age of 84. We're going to play you another tune from 1961 on the Mercury label.
Eeny, meeny, gypsalina, ooh-ba-ba, Berlina, get your little rump, says I love you. I got a peach, I got a plum, teacher, don't be dumb. Give me back my bubble gum. Eeny, meeny, gypsalina, ooh-ba-ba, Berlina, get your little rump, says I love you. I got a peach, I wanna look, teacher, don't get shook. Give me back my funny book. You hit on me and told me to see you at 3. You got my baby and my partners all down on me. I'm rapping on your teacher, trying to make you see. My mama said I gotta bring them home with me. Eeny, meeny, gypsalina, ooh-ba-ba, Berlina, get your little rump, says I love you. I got a peach, I got a plum, teacher, don't be dumb. Give me back my bubble gum.
Come on, go, cat, go!
Eeny, meeny, gypsalina, ooh-ba-ba, Berlina, get your little romper, says I love you. I got a peach, I got a plum, teacher, don't be dumb. Give me back my bubble gum. I want my bubble gum. I want my playing cards. I want my funny book. And you look like you all shook. I don't live this room. I like the wide open faces.
Well, there we go, Young Jesse, 1961. And he really did rattle up the R&B business with his style. And I've got to say, I love everything he ever done. It was just like fantastic. Well, here we go. Little Anthony and the Imperials. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop.
shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Sitting in a native hut all alone and blue. Sitting in a native hut wondering what to do. Along came a native girl, did a native dance. It was like in paradise, put me in a trance. Going shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Join her in her dancing spree, felt my spine a tingle. Held her tight and close to me, man, I'm glad I'm single. Then she showed me what to do. First I was amazed. Soon I learned a step or two, put me in a daze. Going shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop.
Well, good evening to the Wine Gals. Mark Borley. Good evening, Carolyn Crawford out in Detroit, USA. Lovely to have you on board.
Bring them side by side.
Good evening, Kirsty and Stuart Sims.
Steps now, you're gonna glide. Keep
Good evening, Adriana. Shout out to Jamie. Both listening to both sets, loving them. Great taste, fellas.
now going shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy, bop. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop. Shimmy, shimmy.
Well, each week we feature a little bit from original Gravity. This week is no exception. Brand new release coming up. Tell you a bit more about this in a minute.
For a fistful of dollars.
They're working 24/7 down at Original Gravity. Loads of stuff in the pipeline. That is Prince of Falso and the Fever off the forthcoming Scar Fever EP. 4 great tracks on there. Killer Dinner, Mr. Ravenar, Follow Me, and this. Cheap as chips. In fact, in some places, cheaper than chips. So check that out. Well, this week there's been some news. I believe we've landed on Mars, and I thought I'd play a record about that, to be honest with you, as well. So here we go with Prince Buster, Trip to Mars. First photographs back from Mars reveal a McDonald's sign already there. What a shame. Well, good evening to Jacqueline 62, Mark Aldridge, Lucas Weaver, Jodie Richardson, and Callum Salem down in London. Hope you're good, fellas. Yeah, that never came out on a 7-inch single. I've started taking a few things off LPs that I've got and putting them on 7 inches. Just love all the sound effects in there. Thought it was appropriate for tonight. Prince Buster in the mid-60s. Trip to Mars. But it's taken us all that time to get there. But if that was original Gravity Records, they'd have made it last week. Well, I hope you're all enjoying the show tonight. Sean part 1, Andy part 2. Okay, coming up next, the James Taylor Quartet. Hope you're going to enjoy this. Yeah, show 48. 96 hours of music between Sean and myself. Not quite sure how many records that is. And we haven't really repeated. It's a lot. It literally denotes to 4 days and 4 nights constantly of playing dance music. Well, what a lovely day it's been today. I took the car out for a spin. It was like the first day of summer. Anyway, I went to pick the newspaper up, the weekly newspaper, you know, Oh, Carol's got the news flash up. Here we go, here we go. Oh. Anyway, I don't know what's going on here. Oops, I'm going to get back to the music. I'm going to go back to the music because... Okay, here we go.
I don't know. Where you going tonight?
I don't know. Let's ask the fellas. Hey, fellas, where are you going tonight?
Let's go to Willie's house.
Yeah! Good. Let's go to Willie's house.
Come on, bro. Come on, boy.
Well, I don't know, our main camera seems to have disappeared off the computer, but we got the two cams. Anyway, went down there and picked up the local newspaper, the Chills and Fever Times, and on the front there it's got Happy Birthday Chills and Fever, 27th of March 2021, celebrating 1 year of shows. It'll be show 53 on that date, and Sean and I are going to bring you a night to remember.
Are you kidding, man? I saw her first. She was dancing with me.
With you? With
yeah,
me?
Man.
Talking about girls and cigars?
That's my girl, man. Cut it out, man. Cut it out, man.
Came here with me. And I'll tell you something, that cigar is awful.
It's funny, short, it's twin.
Yeah, Willie Rodriguez there. A bit of Boogaloo, Latino. Boogaloo Pussycat on the Fonseca label. Just love the Latino. Well, from 1967, we're staying with the Latino film and Mongo Santa Maria and Call Me. just been told Neil Anderson is coming up and doing an after-show party straight after this on Mixcloud, 10 o'clock. Join Neil Anderson. Not sure how long he's on for. He always plays some great music. Possibly some new interesting things from Original Gravity as well. God, time travels so fast on these shows. Only feels like I've been on 10 minutes. Mongo Santa Maria there on Columbia Records, 1967. Well, Sean came out with an interesting one earlier on about the Rolling Stones and all of that sort of thing. Well, I'm going to play something by The Who, that was by the Rolling Stones.
Under my thumb, the girl once had me down. Under my thumb, the girl once pushed me around. It's time for me. The difference in the clothes she wears down to me. The change has come. She's under my thumb. Under my thumb, this doll just had her day.
Neil Anderson, if you're listening out there, how do we get our main camera back? It's all on, but it doesn't seem to be showing up in the on the OBS settings.
The way she does what she's told down to me. The change has come. She's under my thumb. She talks when she's spoken to down to me. The change has come. She's under my thumb. Under my thumb. The sign.
Well, they brought this record out on their own label, along with The Last Time, which was also a Keith Richards, Mick Jagger tune. When Mick Jagger and Keith Richards got locked up, or Keith did,
The way she talks when she's spoken to down to me.
as a protest record.
Change has come.
Just thought it was a bit interesting.
Under my thumb.
Okay, we always try to finish on something a bit bizarre and a bit whatever. We're going to finish on this tonight. Great show by Sean and Michelle up in Mince Towers. Hope you all enjoyed it out there. Till this time next week. Good night from myself and my wing commander, Carol Peacock. We love playing these tunes. It keeps you uplifted. Almost gives you the feeling of flying itself. Well, there we go. From Andy and Carol, Sean and Michelle, Chills and Fever. Thanks a lot and good night. And on behalf of 633 Squadron, we'll bomb you next week once again. Thanks a lot. Good night.